We've got Cory Nicholson up here on Car Chains 3D. I'm, hey, dude, guess what? I'm excited
I'm
about
excited
being
too.
on because I got to spend some time with Cory at PRI. I actually sit right next to him for about 2 hours of Buffalo Wild Wings
Yep.
on what was that, Friday night or something like that. And
They all blended together.
yeah, I don't know. It was the night. It was Friday night because it was when we left those guys. We were going back to the hotel, and that's when we saw Steve Morris. And then the night changed, not because of
Yeah.
Steve Morris, but because of John at Delta PHE.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
had a good
Memories were
time.
made.
Yeah, and what's cool about what Cory does is it's so different than what we typically have been looking at um, on the channel and past events and or past interviews and things like that. And obviously he's going to kind of tell us a little bit of this story, but if you follow him and the channel Car Chains on Instagram and on Facebook, this guy is producing stuff daily. New
Yeah.
stuff daily is about what I think that needs to be a new segment for him or something because he's
Yeah.
coming up with all kinds of stuff. I was actually messaging him, kind of giving him a countdown. I said, "Hey, about 10 minutes." He goes, "No problem, man. I'm sitting over here engineering things as I'm listening to you guys."
Yeah, I
So
remember I found him on Facebook well before we ever talked to him,
yeah,
and just being again, I'm a car guy. I've got a 3D printer, and I like to make cool stuff. So when I saw somebody else doing it, I started following him, and it yeah, he's went from like you said, car keychains all the way up to some pretty incredible stuff that he's making now. So
oh yeah, and doing it on a level that is, it's no longer a hobby for him. I'll tell you that much. And
yeah,
he's going to tell us a little bit about that. So, Cory, if you're ready, give us a thumbs up, and we'll bring you in for sure. Oh yeah, big thumbs up, dude. Guys, I want to introduce Cory Nicholson of Car Chains 3D. Dude, welcome to the show. I'm excited to have you on here, man.
What's
Oh,
going on, man?
what's
It's been
up?
a day. I'm in
yeah.
I'm in the frigid north of Michigan where they're trying to murder us every day. It's been
Yeah,
cold.
I don't know how people do that, man. Like, listen, I'm in a hoodie and it's 60 in the podcast room. I'm in a hoodie.
Well, I thankfully have free electricity because I have like 20 3D printers behind me going, so it's hot in here. But it's out. They've canceled school the last 2 days for my kids because it's like negative 20 wind chills or something. So we just don't go outside. We're just scared of the world for right now.
Well, that's not even fair at all. That's not even
Yeah,
that's I
yeah.
don't know how people live there. I don't know how people live there. Well, dude, let's jump into this because we try and run about 2 hours, so we'll be on here with you for 30 minutes, easy. So, kind of introduce yourself and give us a little bit of history of the whole brand, man. How'd you get started? Where did all this begin?
Well, so it's actually kind of funny. So how this started was I was a mechanic. I've been a mechanic all my life. I worked on helicopters in the army. I came out. I was a Chrysler mechanic. I did that for a long time. But like your body just breaks down, and it got to the point where I had to stop flipping wrenches in my driveway. So I was flipping wrenches in the driveway for extra money, and then having my regular job, and I just couldn't do it. I was just beat. We moved back to Michigan, and it was cold, and I felt like I was gonna die when I'd work on a car. So I was like, you know what? It's time to figure something else out. So my wife bought me my very first 3D printer. Now it's going on like 5 years for my birthday. I feel like she very much regrets this decision, but um, so I it was this little itty bitty. It's called a Monoprice Mini. It's like a little 120 by 120 bed, little itty bitty thing, right? So I'd never touched one. I'd never touched CAD software in my entire life. I just got into it. My
Hmm.
ADHD went full blown crazy, and I figured it all out. So we played with it for a while, and I was still flipping wrenches, trying to figure out this 3D printer thing, and I was working on my buddy's BMW Turbo Z3 in the driveway, and I'm like, I'm done. after I'm done with this car, I'm just done. So I started doing just this random keychains, right? Just to see if someone would buy them. I sold them for like $10. I didn't care. I just wanted some extra money. By now I bought like one more 3D printer and we were just kind of selling those in random spots, right? And then I think I sold a couple of the first ones. Maybe I made like $300, but that bought
Oh no. No.
It's that
another
Michigan
printer,
cold.
which then Oh yeah. I'm sure Michigan is very angry at internet right now. It's been rough here too.
Yeah,
It's all right. You're back
we
now.
lost you for a second. Yeah, we got you good now.
So so that really just the keychains really started it, right? So then I had a customer that asked me if I could make a picture of their car, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe let's figure it out. Which is kind of, as a lot of people that know me know, that's probably my response to pretty much anything when they ask me is, I don't know if I can, but we'll figure it out. And we did. I did. I don't know. I think I sold 400 my first year of starting car chains. So that's what, 4 years ago now. Um, by then, end of that year, I had like 10 Ender threes on my wall. Right, they're just all over the place. And I had gotten into like signs. We were doing signs and like big signs. We were doing a bunch of dumb stuff that I probably shouldn't have gotten into, but it was fun. But that started all this. We were just literally taking pictures of people's cars, reproducing them into a keychain, and I was selling them for now it was like $25, right?
Wow, that's cool, man.
So one day, Lance Dreger, which you guys know from R&D Fabrication, he's my
Yep.
local drug dealer here. He gives me all my car parts. He's like, hey, dude, this new Holly Terminator is coming out. Can you make a mount for the screen? I'm like, in typical me, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So I made this first little suction cup mount to put it up on the windshield, and that was the game. Like that started a bunch of crazy. I sold like my first 20 in like a day.
Wow. So you're like, okay, I'm on to something here.
Yeah. So that went crazy. So when then and how we've gotten to all the things that I've gotten into now, like all the new stuff, is people just ask,
Yeah.
and I just tell them why not, So I don't like to say no to, especially to fun projects that I know are going to be cool. So we just kept doing it. So now we're doing like the column mounts, full on dashes, well, full on clusters,
Yeah.
a lot of, and so really I credit most of this to Lance, because if he had never asked me, we wouldn't be in this position. But it's gone crazy. Like we did, we filled over 1,800 orders last year. It was way over that.
Wow.
It was 20.
Dude.
If we count all the other stuff, I did closer to a little over 2,500 orders last year. And it's
Wow.
it's still pretty much
Congratulations.
a one man show. It's ridiculous here. So
That's so and what's cool about that now, obviously that kind of triggers my entrepreneurship mindset a little bit because like again, it goes back to not saying no. Like, oh no, we only do keychains.
yeah,
Only, and being willing to open up to that. I'm gonna open up some. I'm gonna go into your Facebook and open up some pictures and stuff like that here in just a second. But
I'm
you know,
sure.
you were introduced to me by my brother Steven, who's making the comment here. Cory
Yeah,
makes some super nice parts. We actually, I think, before you and I had ever met, and we're maybe even friends on Facebook, he had ordered a panel from you to mount up a Terminator X on the firewall of a C10 truck that he was building. So, like obviously through that, I was kind of helping with some of that time at that time. And dude, really nice piece. Everything fit like it should have. It was one of the strangest things to just go, oh, and it works. So
yeah,
really good job on that. I was really impressed.
yeah. It's been an adventure. expected it to be here, right? Like, when we first, I just expected to sell a couple of them, and
Mhm.
like I've thought about changing the name now because really, we do keychains every once in a while, but I don't do a lot of them now. But now it's too late, right? Everyone knows,
Yeah.
like the brand is established as this is what we do. But
Yeah.
like this really started as kind of a hobby, a reason for me to stop flipping wrenches because I'm just tired of being in pain. Like I'm still in pain all the time, but that's
Right.
veteran thing, I guess. But it's it's funny how it happened. It wasn't. It was never the plan to get here. Like it was just it happened. It just worked out.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So
Well, and go ahead.
do you have all these printers at your house, or do you have like a shop that you work out of, or?
So right now it's really like I built an office and like a shop in my basement to do it for now. We're currently it's still just me mostly. Um, I am looking for a space and looking to hire a person. Um, we'll see how it goes. It's
Yeah.
you know, I still have a full-time job, so that's I work for Audi of North America, so I am still busy. Sorry, my phone is dying.
Uh, well, and I was going to say,
I'm obviously not
side
good at
hustle.
this.
Well, that's all right. Dude, you've been on the backstage for a long time, so I appreciate that. Um, One thing that's cool is
Yeah.
like that move from 0 to 1 is a big deal in that, like, because if you can keep your day job and somebody else can kind of take up some of the slack of, either boxing parts or the stuff that
Mhm.
dude, I say it with stats. Eric hears it from me all the time, and about every phone call we talk about is just the literal hundreds of hours that I spend a year just cleaning up stats, just cleaning up
Mhm.
spreadsheets. And so if you can have somebody just doing that easy stuff like that, that really doesn't take a lot of brain power, and you can hire someone to do that and they can do a good job at it, it makes your life better because then you can focus on really cool stuff.
Well, and you don't realize, and this was something that it took me a long time to figure out. Like assembling, packaging, and shipping takes so much time. It's
Yeah.
mind-numbing work, but it
Yep.
is a time suck. It just takes forever to do. And those are
Yeah.
Yes, it
things like when
does.
you're just starting, like you don't know. Like when I was selling keychains, I could ship 25 keychains in 20 minutes because I'm just shoving them in my bag
Yep.
and putting a label on them. But it's
Yeah.
not like, 30
I,
packages
I
will
was
take 2 hours.
Yeah.
let me pull up some of this stuff, and we'll continue to talk because people need to understand. Like this that I'm trying to show you right here. This is, I mean, this is an inlay in what looks like an OBS truck. Like in the dash. Can you guys see that? Yeah.
Yep.
So this is something that
Oh, yeah.
literally meant to make this works for anybody's OBS truck. 87 or
Yep.
88 to 93 or whatever,
Well,
96, whatever.
and what's funny about this one, so I'm trying to move into a lot of fuel tech stuff because I see the market shifting to fuel tech because I'm not completely sure why yet, but I'm starting to see the shift, right? So
Yeah,
this
certainly.
guy called me. He had gotten a mount elsewhere, which I don't like to talk shit about any competition.
Yep.
I think he got a mount that he wasn't fully prepared to deal with at the time. He called me, and I was like, "Well, I can get you something. Just understand that there's a timeline." This dude,
Yeah.
when he got this, he was so excited about it. Like he starts texting me, he's all crazy about it. It was great. This came out awesome. This is the
Yeah.
first Fuel Tech OBS mount I have done,
That's
and it
awesome.
looks great.
Yep. And then so we'll move now. I don't know what's going to come up, so we may get some family pictures here in a minute. This is just Corey's Facebook page, but you know, see these a lot. I don't know what this panel is, but it looks like some kind of I would say
Yeah,
80s or
that's
90s.
uh that is
Sorry.
early. That's like Gen early F10, and that is actually the first S10 mount for an Aces 7-inch, the new Aces EFI systems that are coming out. All the CAD files. So we are.
That's so cool that then your brain
My
takes
phone's
over and
moving.
it can.
But yeah, that was one of the first ones.
Oh,
So
man.
Oh
how
man,
many printers do you currently have? 25.
25.
Oh,
And what different types of material can you print? I know you can do like the basics, PLA, ABS type stuff, but
Oh,
I
okay.
know you've got some other ones that can do different materials.
Yeah, I'm doing PA12 nylon. We're doing polycarbonate infused with we're doing carbon infused polycarbonate. We're doing carbon infused PETG, carbon infused
Nice.
ABS. Those are the popular things. Other than that, I do a little bit of PETG here and there. Like that was how I started with PETG. But I make very few things out of PETG anymore. We've tried to move on to some more advanced.
no. Is it about to die? That's funny. Yep. He gone. Well, I'll tell you, here's one of the coolest things about Cory stuff is you can really kind of flip through and I'm gonna be off screen here flipping through these, but I moved over to Car Change to his Facebook page. So, he was talking about some of the carbon stuff. This is literally the backside of this is what he can print. So,
Hmm.
I mean, it's just really cool to see this level of, I don't know, customization that you
Yeah.
can do with different things. This here's the mount for a third gen Camaro that goes right on the side of the thing. He has a TRX. I think he had just bought that TRX right before PRI, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, I mean, he made up a keychain for himself. That's kind of neat. I like it. And
Yeah.
that's what's really cool about him being part of the brand here. Says he's going to be back in just a second.
Yeah, and you can see the dash in the background
Yep.
there, which is
Yep.
really cool. And if anybody's into 3D printers, like some of the new 3D printers that are out now, the Bamboo Labs is one that you can print with like 4 colors at one time now.
Wow.
The advancement in those it's so crazy. You can print, you know, before if I wanted to print something in multiple colors, it would have to be multiple pieces that get put together. Now, this Bamboo Lab, you can do up to 16 colors, but it'll run 4 at a time. But
Wow.
you can lay just colors on top of each other and make some really cool stuff. So the advancements that these printers have done over the years is pretty incredible. He talked about the Ender 3. That's the one that I have. It's, the perfect entry level one, but
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about something like this, and again, what I like about him being
uh,
being
he's
here with
back
us.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, man. Sorry, we were talking good about you behind your back. I promise.
Okay, hold on. Let me fix the sound here.
Yep. Sound is good over here. We hear you good. Like I said, one of the cool things about him doing this stuff and us, obviously, we're building a friendship here. To be honest, he
I
is
can't hear you at all.
part of the news, but it's just really cool to see, like, because we can come up with some ideas and do some stuff, especially from like the drag and drive community side. We'll
Hmm.
have completely different ideas than maybe somebody building a street ride or somebody building a, a full on race car. Those guys need roll
Yeah.
bar mounts where, like, we may be looking for a dash like this up here that's in the picture now.
Right. But even some of the roll bar mount stuff will be perfect for drag and drive because that's kind
Yeah.
of how we started talking about this was, you know, it's the comfort features that a race car is lacking. So you can
Yeah.
get cup holders, you can get, you know, visors and all that kind of stuff. Now
Yeah.
you can whatever you need that can be mounted to a roll bar, you can pretty much get.
Oh, go back one. You'll like this one. Or two. One, two, that one. And by the way, I'm back. Sorry.
That's all right.
So that is a Holly 7-inch in a Hyundai Genesis.
What?
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember the name of his Dream Machine. That's his name. So Dream Machine is owned by a friend of mine. He specializes in Genesis LS swaps. So we made this for him. It is a super cool little business he's got going on.
Yeah, talk about a niche market, bro.
Yeah. I've made like 10 of these.
I was gonna say there's probably 10 or 15 of those in the country.
Yeah. Yep.
So when somebody comes to you with an idea for, say, this part right here, how do you go about starting to even come up with that idea to the design to what you have here on the screen?
So I innovated what I like to call like a modular dash setup, right? So I do all my dashes are kind of stacked. So I make the surround is 3D printed. Then that see that textured like ABS look. That's actually what I call like a beauty plate. So it's a plate that's bolted to that, and then I mount my screens behind that plate with a set of brackets, right? So what I do is someone will send me a dash. I send it out to my friend who owns a 3D scanner because I don't have the time to figure it out. His name is Zach Watts. He owns IPF Racing over here and he lives over in Hazel Park.
Okay.
So he does all my scan work. He sends me a working STL, and then I draw on top of it to make something that'll work.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering was with the scan portion. I wasn't sure if you were, if you were going to the junkyard and looking for, a specific dash piece, or if like customers would send them to you, or how you kind of started with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I buy a lot of eBay parts too. Like if someone has a part they want, but I'll have people that don't want to send me things because they don't, it's either they're worried about it getting broken. I'll just order one on eBay.
Yep.
Usually that works out. I don't have time to go to a junkyard. I'm so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one is a cool one because that's a Jeep TJ with a Holly 12.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that one came out sweet. That was a fun mount. And somehow I've become the put Holly 12-inch in everything guy. Like it's been ridiculous. People just keep, can you put a Holly 12 in this? I don't know. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, right. Wow. That's really cool. And man, what's great about that, and I really hope that it just helps grow your brand being in this entire ecosystem of driving stuff that we're building here, because man, it really is really cool. Because one thing we didn't show in that is like cup holders and, like Eric said earlier, sun visors. I mean, that's really Eric's that's what got this whole conversation started was the sun visors.
Well, and it's funny that came up because how those came about was I had a customer. He messaged me. He has a Colorado. I wish I could remember his name. He's a super cool dude, super fast Colorado. And he was like, "Hey, can you make sun visors?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, probably." Well, And it took me a really long time. It took me about a year of like kind of playing with a couple ideas, and then I finally came up with the setup that I did. And honestly, the first setup was just complete garbage. I thought they were super cool. We put them out of the market, and I gave them to a couple guys to try them out. They just didn't work. So we revamped them and changed them, and the new ones work way better. But we went to actual clips like it would be in an OEM car, and you can put a clip on each side of the roll bar. It'll do the drivers and it'll do the driver's door, or the driver's window and the passenger window and the windshield. And then we make them in different lengths. But it was a lot of feedback from people just like, this doesn't work. So I'm like, oh, well, let's fix it.
Yeah. So here's something from back I mean, this is 2022. I'm just digging down through your stuff. This is really cool, man.
Yeah. So that was the first design we used. I figured, almost everybody has they're putting them on roll bars. So I'm like, let's put magnets in them. Well, the magnets were just trash. They didn't work. So we switched out those ends to clips, like actual clips, like you see in like a regular car, and they work really, really well.
Wow.
And you just bolt it you just tie it to a roll cage with a hose clamp. You can do both windows, and it's got a fully articulating arm on them, so they can do, they can go a bunch of crazy positions. They kind of a pain to adjust sometimes, but sacrifices.
I was gonna say, but it's better than nothing. Literally
Yeah.
nothing.
It's better than nothing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the cup holders were the same way. The same guy was like, dude, I want a cup holder in my car. I'm like, let's do it. So we did bar mounted cup holders. And now we're doing the shifter mounted cup holders. Right now we're doing them for a bunch of B&Ms. I have an M&M shifter one coming out. PPP shifters. And then, we do some floor mounted cup holders.
Do you have anything for like a TCI shifter?
I don't, but let's figure it out.
I have a TCI shifter.
I'm down. Let's do it.
I would think that's probably really close to probably your setup of like a B&M style. I think TCI and B&M use a lot of the same parts and mounting holes and things like that.
Well, and the B&M ones are cool because you still use you can use the OEM pinhole. It'll just slide in. And yeah, the B&M ones are sweet. That one I have a lot of work in, but they're cool. We have about like three different setups for the B&Ms. So, and those are actually made out of PA12 nylon. Like, they're super tough.
Nice.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And
so what do you need? Just the cover piece? Is that all you would need?
Yeah, just send me a cover piece. I'll send it to my guy.
Yeah, I could ship you the one off of mine, especially this time. I don't need it at all right now, so.
Down, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm working with my same guy that does all my scanning. He also owns a billet CNC business. So he'll take the scan and he'll make some of these shifter mounted cup holders. We'll do them in billet. Well, he will. Yeah, those are pretty sweet.
Yeah. That's
nice.
what I'm talking about.
I might have to talk to you after the show and get his information.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. Down.
The scanning stuff would be perfect for some of the stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think we could this whole conversation right here is really taking my brain in different directions. Well, let's kind of winding down the show because I'm sure we're going to talk on this for another 15 minutes after this. But
good.
Yeah, let's talk about the future, man. Like 25 machines running probably most of the day, I would think, or most of the night, however you work it up. But what's the future for car chains, man? What are we looking at? What are you trying to do?
Well, so as I said earlier, we're looking to expand, right? I'm looking for a building. We're looking to hire somebody. Labor is unobtainium sometimes, so we're going to see how that goes. And I'm not a super trusting person, so that's a step. That's an issue. But we're looking for space. I have fully outgrown what I can do at my house, so. But we want to expand. I'm actually looking into getting into some more different types of manufacturing. So some laser work. I've been watching Eric's laser work. So I have a UV laser here I've been wanting to play with, and I just haven't had time. The other thing we want to get into is I want to get into some like SLS printing and some more resin printing so that we can make some more OEM style looking dashes. So our S197 one, the 197 one we just came out with, that one's fully resin printed. And it looks like once the guy who's test fitting it paints it, it'll probably look like it's supposed to be there.
Wow,
and
that's kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah. It's got we put a plain carbon plate on it. It's made to house FuelTech 550 and a set of nanos in it. It is a gorgeous piece. I hate resin printing, but it just looks so nice.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So what's the difference there? Kind of school me real quick.
The chemicals are the hardest part with those.
Well, so I do mostly what's called FDM printing, right? So it's a nozzle that goes around, it lays plastic, and it lifts and lifts and makes something. Resin printing uses resin and like a UV hardener.
Mhm.
Well, it uses resin and a UV light, which hardens at certain layers. But its slice layers are much lower than it would be with like FDM. So like most FDM prints I do are like 0.2 millimeters, where a resin print is like 0.05, and you can go
Wow.
lower. So the resolution's kind of crazy. Um,
That's where you get the smooth finish from.
yeah, they look super
Right.
nice. Yeah.
Yep. So, like,
Um,
where it would take a little bit of time with a high grit sand or
yeah.
low grit, yeah, high grit sand to make the FPM or whatever you said. But okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then they have SLS is like laser and dust, where it's like a tub
Powder.
of dust. Yeah, it's powder. And then they use a laser to harden powder. That's like a lot of OEMs use those for when they're trying to make parts for cars. So, but those are like 100 grand. I'm a little far from that, but that's a goal.
yeah, yeah, that's cool, man. Well, I'm really excited about what this can do, and obviously, I mean, 25 machines, you're not small. 1,800 orders in a year is not small.
No,
It's
yeah,
going to be
yeah,
really fun to see how this grows over the next 5 years and even over the next 6 months. Because as your brand continues to kind of you know step off deep into this drag and drive community that we're just going to put you right out in front of, people are going to come up with really fun, interesting ideas, and I can't wait to see what you do with it.
well, I'm down. As I tell people, I like solving problems. That's how I got here. It's
Yep.
fun. It is a blast for me. I love solving issues, solving problems, fixing things, fixing issues people have.
Yep.
That's how I got here. I love it. It's the best part.
That's cool. Well, man, good luck on the search for somebody to come in and help because I can't imagine
Yeah.
how hard that would be to find. Because like you almost need somebody that's interested in that as well, but
Hmm.
somebody that wants to help you grow your business, not somebody that wants to do their own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have a friend of mine whose daughter comes over and helps me package every once in a while. But even then, it's not enough. I need we need some full time help. It's getting crazy here.
Well, I mean, think about that. Like 150 per, or if you're moving 1,800 a year, like, and you're going to do more than that this year. Let's say you go to 3,000 this year, dude. That's 250 packages a month. That's eight
Yeah.
packages a day minimum. Like every
Yeah.
day, all day,
Hmm.
shipping it out. So
Yeah.
there's
I
no
ship.
reason that's going to be 20.
Yeah. We're shipping right now. I know my USPS lady hates me. I feel so bad for her because I pick it up, put it on the front porch. She's got to take it out. I'm sure she just wants to light my house on fire.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I'm shipping easy 150, 200 packages a week right now.
Wow.
Thankfully, a lot of people order. I make a lot of ecosystems, so that's what I like to call them. So I'm making ECU mounts. We're doing bulkheads. We're doing 3.5 inch mounts, and then dashes. So
Wow.
thankfully, a lot of people are buying these packages. So I'm shipping less things, but it's rough, man.
Buy,
Well,
buy
It's
your
yeah,
buy your USPS person a gift card.
yeah.
They'll appreciate
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm sure
Well,
I owe her all the beer. Yeah,
yeah. Well, and I was gonna say one of the other things too about that is like, let's say this dash piece that you make, that's not like a normal box. So like
no,
then
they
you're
did.
also finding boxes. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah, it's an 18, and it's bad. Is it bad? It's probably bad that I know this off the top of my head, but it's an 18 by 10 by 8 box.
yeah,
So it's
Yep.
yeah,
not small.
yep. Wow. That's cool. Well, there's definitely some opportunity there. I think, once you get all that sorted, I can't imagine growing at the rate you've grown and then doing it mainly as a one man show is pretty impressive, man. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. I don't know if that means anything to you, but
Aw, I
so
love you too.
yeah, thank you. I'd appreciate that. Well, tell everybody where they can find you guys, and then what's the best way to get in touch if they have an idea.
So you can go to my website. It's carchains3d.com. On Facebook, it's Car Chains because Car Chains 3D was taken. So, and then on Instagram, it's Car Chains 3D. You know, on my website is all the ways to get a hold of me. I am very attached to my phone, so if you need to get a hold of me, I will. I very rarely miss emails. But yeah, I mean that. Let me know what you guys need. I am happy to help you guys out, and what you guys are doing is awesome, and that's why I'm happy to be a part of it with you.
Well, I'm really
We
excited about
appreciate
you
it.
being here. Yeah, thank you very much. And again, dude, the stuff you do, I think can work really well with this. And I hope that the folks that are watching this and the folks that will watch this later will go check out your stuff because you got a ton of really cool stuff. So, all right, well, we're gonna put you backstage. Stay with us though, because I want to talk to you, and then we're gonna
Sweet.
shut the show down, and then I've got some ideas.
Okay, bye guys.
See ya.
Dude, what a great night. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like man, it was good to be back in front of these folks. It's been a couple weeks since we've been here. I did say Saturday morning we're going to be on again 10 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to be on with the news. We're going to make that an hour.